Hello, it is Friday again. Let me get this up. So, Facebook has updated now and there's no more watch parties. So, if you don't want to miss these cooking shows or when we do go live, hit the little bell button or there's like a subscribe button or Facebook would say, a thing will pop up and it'll say get notifications. Hit that. Then, when we do go live, then you'll get just a little notification and it's not like you're going to be spammed with them, that then you can join in the cooking fun. All right, I'm going to share this on the recipe page so that we can all be together. Cooking live. We're going to make some dinner things. Oh my goodness, my caps was opposite. All right, we'll share this and name it later. We're going to make some fun things today. We're going to use my new pressure cooker. I've used it like twice so far and I really like it. All right, I think we are together. One thing I do like about this is that all the comments are in one spot now, so it's a little bit easier to navigate and see all of you and comment back, and so you can join in all the fun. All right, I'm going to plug this in because that would be bad if this turned off. All right, so I have just some raw chicken breasts, and I like these because they put them in like these single bags. Oh, hello, Tammy from Vermont. Welcome. I got these, I think it was at Walmart. It came in this big bag, and then they're in these single packages. It's Harvest Land, no antibiotics, blah, blah, blah. It's healthy and good for you, and I really like these. These are just chicken breasts. Hello, friend. Hello, Sandy. Hello, Marine, or Mocha, which is a fun name, too. Hello, ladies. Hi, Elizabeth. So we're going to cook this in the Instapot today, or pressure cooker Instapot. Instapot is just like the name brand. I got this one off of Amazon. It's a 12.5 quart. I got the biggest one I could find. I think they do make a little bit bigger, but I wanted a big one because we're a family of 5 adults, and when you eat a lot of vegetables, you need a lot of space. Hello, Annette. Hello, Lauren from Illinois. Annette watching from bed. Ooh, I wish I could cook from bed. That would be nice. We've been praying for you, Annette. Sherry, hi, girl. Hey, Sherry. Thank you for joining, and hello, everyone on Instagram, too. So what's cool about a pressure cooker is there's so many different settings. So we're going to saute, and we're going to sear our chicken breasts in this first. So it'll get a nice crust on them. Then it has this trivet thing, so then our chicken doesn't get like soaked. We're going to put that in, put in some other things. So we're going to start off, I'm going to move this over here so I can plug it in. Oh, make some room. If you don't have a pressure cooker, no problem. You could cook your chicken on the stovetop. You could even bake it. Love the Friday cooking live. Oh, thank you so much, and thank you for joining on Instagram. So I'm going to plug in my pressure cooker. This is a GoWise USA. It's like an off-brand, and it was cheaper than the Instapot and bigger than the Instapot. Because I broke my crock pot, like the inside, I like dropped it and broke everywhere. So I'm like, oh, I'm going to get another crock pot. And then I'm like, hey, this has a crock pot setting. I'm getting the big one. Go big or go home, right? So I'm going to turn it to the saute button. And then it says 20 minutes. So I got 20 minutes to saute something. I think I can add time if I want to saute it longer. And then before it starts like smoking, getting hot, because it's like a skillet, I'm going to add just a little bit of olive oil just to cook my chicken in. I'm going to turn this on just in case it gets a little smoky. So then I have a big old plate here. And I made this little seasoning blend. It's equal parts of onion powder, paprika. I did parsley, basil, salt. You want salt. So I Googled this when I was grilling. Oh, Jennifer, hello. I Googled this when I was grilling. So the salt, it brings the protein to the skin. So then it will give you a nice sear when you're cooking it. So you can't really over salt it. You can, but use a lot of salt. Then I did, let's see, I think that was about it. So I made kind of this little seasoning blend. This is kind of what it looks like. Or you could use your favorite seasoning blend. You could use an Italian seasoning and then paprika and garlic powder. So I'm going to take my chicken breasts here. I'll move this to the side. And I'm going to open them up and I'm going to put them on this plate because we're going to like rub all this seasoning on it. But this does release a little bit of juice. So I'm going to do it over the sink. And then I'll wash my hands after this because, I don't know, raw meat's kind of gross. But it's delicious and it's worth it. I can get these open. It's kind of I like that they're in the single packets, but then they're in single packets, so I gotta open every single one. And these are nice and thawed. One thing that's cool about the pressure cooker is you can cook chicken frozen. You could just put it right in there. You do have to cook it a little bit longer. I think instead of like 10 minutes, it was 15 minutes for frozen. But hey, you don't have to thaw it, or if you forget to thaw your chicken breast, you can toss it right in there. It's really fun. I've cooked chicken one time in it, so this will be an adventure. But it can't be that hard. It's pretty simple. And I like that it cooks it really fast. It's pretty nice. All right, so I have 5 chicken breasts here. Okay, so we have them all on our plate. I'm going to separate them a little bit, and then we're going to get spicy. We're just going to drizzle these spices on, and then I'm going to kind of rub it in there. And then we're just going to sear the edges, or the skins. Well, it's not even the skins, but we're going to sear the outside of this chicken in the sautéing part. Judy, hello from Canada. Hi, Judy. Thank you for joining. Now let's get a little messy. Oh, good. You can see this. We're going to rub this seasoning into our chicken. Gives it a little bit of flavor. And we're going to flip them over and kind of get this seasoning on the other side. Give them a good massage. Who doesn't like a massage? Get them all nice and coated. This is going to make them taste good. I know they have like chicken seasonings also. You could use your favorite seasonings on these. Oh, I put a little rosemary in there too. I like rosemary. That stuff is yummy. So this is what's for dinner tonight. We're having chicken and cauliflower mashed potatoes. And then we have a little bit of leftover squash from a couple days ago. Not that long ago. I froze it. So that's on the menu for tonight. So here we go. We have our nice seasoned chicken breast. So I'm just going to throw them in the pot. And if you have too many that it's not one flat layer, you'll have to work in batches. But we're going to let these cook like 1 to 2 minutes per side, and then we'll flip them. Ooh, it's got a nice sear sound. So we're going to make one nice layer of this. Oh, I think they're all going to fit. Move that one over. Ha! They all fit. This little nugget. And keep your plate, because we're going to take them out of there, and then we're going to put some liquid in there, because the pressure cooker needs liquid to cook your food. So keep your plate. We're going to use this again. I'm going to wash my hands. Ugh. Get all the seasonings from out of my nails. Yum. Sounds good. We got a nice sizzle going on. You could also just grill your chicken on the stove top in a skillet. I would heat a skillet to about medium-high heat, sear them, then turn it down and cover it for about, 10, 12 minutes, flipping ever so often so it's a nice cook through. And then you're going to want to cook it till it gets to about 165, the internal temperature. You can find like a little thermometer, a meat thermometer. I found mine at my local Walmart, and then I found some at a thrift store, so it's pretty easy to find those. So I think we're going to let these cook a little bit longer. Like maybe 1 more minute, then we'll flip them and give them about 2 more minutes. So while that's going on, we can start on our cauliflower mashed potatoes. So I have a giant pot. Like, this is the biggest pot. No, actually, I have like a soup pot. That's the really tall one. But this is the second biggest pot that I have in my house because I'm going to make a lot because there's 5 of us in one family. And we're all adults and we all eat food. And when you eat 14 ounces of vegetables per meal, you need a lot of vegetables. So I have 6 bags, and these are 12 ounce just frozen cauliflower. These will work perfect. You could do rice cauliflower also. You could even do fresh cauliflower. But I like to use the frozen because it's easy, it's cheap, and it's just there. And you don't have to wash it. You don't have to separate it. So I'm going to put all 6 bags in my pot. You can also find a garlic cauliflower mashed potato recipe in my Volume 1 cookbook, or Cooking with Joy. That one's really delicious too. It's super garlicky, really flavorful. But today we're going to try something a little different, but that's a really good recipe also. All right, we're going to give these a flip. Oh, it's beautiful. We don't want to cook these too much because we want them cooked, pressure cooked instead. So we'll let that cook about 1 minute or 2 while I keep putting these into my pot. You know, they have this tear thing that you can tear the bags open, but they like never work. It usually will tear half, or it'll just, you can't find the little tab. So I just like taking a knife and just slicing it open. So much easier. You can also reduce this recipe for like a single serving. I would do 2 bags because this is only 12 ounces. So if you're doing 14 ounces at dinner, you're going to need a little bit more. And it will shrink a little bit when you're cooking it. All right. We have all our cauliflower added to here. I think our chicken is ready to take out. So we're going to take out our chicken, put it back on the plate. Got a nice sear on each side. Doesn't that look good? It's not cooked yet. Don't eat this. This is just step 1. You could skip the step of searing it first, but it's going to give it really good flavor. And you could just season them all. We're going to remove these. Then we're going to add 1 cup of vegetable broth or chicken broth, whichever one you have. I used up all my chicken broth, so I'm going to use some vegetable broth. We're going to do 1 cup into the Instapot. Yeah, I think, let's do 1.5 cups because this is quite a big Instapot. Let's do 1.5 cups. Then we're going to take the trivet and we're going to put this in there. Then we're going to put our chicken back inside. Make 1 nice layer if you can, because it'll help cook it a little bit more even. If you are a pressure cooker pro and I'm doing something wrong, let me know. It is a learning journey. Okay, so now we're going to discard this. We're done with that. We're going to put the lid on top. We're going to lock it on. Let's open. Why is this not closed? Oh, I think I need to turn it. No, what am I doing? Okay. Let's do keep warm. Supposed to go on lid. Something's stuck. My sealing ring is not in completely. That helps. You need that on correctly. I washed it, that's why. All right. Make sure your sealing ring is on. Well, that's good. It didn't close on me. All right. Let's try this again. Make sure my hair does not get in there. There we go. All right. Then you want to make sure it's not on venting, it's on sealing. Then we're going to select, and we're going to do poultry No, we want 10 minutes. All right, we're going to do it on poultry, then we're going to reduce the time to 10 minutes, and then you just leave it, and it should turn on, and it'll get to pressure, which takes a little bit, but that's okay. Deb, you never know what happens on live TV. Exactly. This is not going to explode. There's many safety features on these new things. It's not like the old-time pressure cooker. When I told my sister I'm getting a pressure cooker, she's like, oh my gosh, it's going to explode. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's going to be okay. All right, back to our cauliflower. So we have just our frozen cauliflower in here. We're going to add, since there's 6 bags, we're going to do 6 cups of vegetable broth, or you could do water, but the vegetable broth is going to give it just a little bit of flavor. Cindy, hello Cindy, hello Judy from Canada. So fun you ladies could join. So we're going to do 6 cups of vegetable broth. Or you could do chicken broth, but I don't have any of that in my house right now. And I just get the Walmart organic brand. Aldi's also has a nice organic brand of vegetable broth also. Just make sure to read the ingredients, and sugar's not in the first 3. This one does have sugar, but it's really low, and it's organic. Like, that helps. But all right, so we need to do 1 cup. 6 cups. 1. I also saw a trick so your vegetable broth doesn't glug, glug, glug. Here, I'll bring this over here so we can see this. Instead of pouring it this way with the cap here, flip it this way for the first. Look at that. Perfect pouring, not as much glugging, and it doesn't splash everywhere. 2. 3. 4. Oh boy. Maybe we'll just do 5. Because we don't want it too liquidy anyways. Alright, so we got a little bit less than 5 cups, but that'll be okay because we really want it steamed, and we're going to use this liquid later. So we're done with this. So we're going to add this back to the stove top, and we're going to bring it to a boil. So we're going to turn it on high, and we're going to get this to boil. Then we're going to add a little bit of seasonings, and then we'll blend it up, and then it'll be a beautiful, soft cauliflower, mashed cauliflower. Now, our pressure cooker has 9 minutes left. It's come to pressure. When you saute it, it also helps get it heated up and to pressure faster. Because usually you're like, oh, 10 minutes cooking, that's 10 minutes. Well, no. It's 10 minutes of cooking time. Then you have to natural release a little bit, which we're going to let it natural release 10 minutes because that helps really keep in the juices and really cook it a little bit more. And then it has to come to pressure before all that. So if you do the keep warm or even saute a little bit, it helps it get to that a little bit faster. We're going to throw these away. I'm going to grab a big spoon. We're just going to give this a little stir just to get everything nice and wet. Because we kind of want just our cauliflower steamed a little bit. This is just the cauliflower florets. You could do rice cauliflower also, that would work too. Give it a little stir. Woo. And I think it'll help get to boil a little bit faster if we cover it. So we're going to cover this and just let it boil. We want a nice roaring boil, then we'll reduce the heat and let it simmer for about 10-12 minutes till it's nice and tender and kind of just falling apart, and then we'll blend it. Have you ever added ricotta cheese to your cauliflower? It mashes up beautifully and so creamy. That sounds amazing. No, I haven't tried that, but that sounds really good. I'm going to make this just a plain, no protein, no fat in it, just cauliflower, and then everybody can kind of add their own protein for themselves. So this is kind of like a great family meal, but I'm definitely adding some ricotta cheese to my cauliflower mash because ricotta cheese is a floating food group. I kind of call it that because it can be a couple different things. So whole milk ricotta cheese, I'll show you it. whole milk ricotta cheese, I get it at Walmart and Aldi's, they both have the whole milk, can be a full fat, 2 ounces, or 4 ounces of full protein. So you could do a fat or a protein with this. So your chicken, 4 ounces can be your protein, and then 2 ounces of this in your mashed potatoes, your cauliflower mash could be your fat, and then you got a full meal right there, because you only get a tablespoon of butter, which is a lot of butter, but that's pretty good. Or you could do, you could do half and half ricotta cheese and butter. That would be really good too. That would be delicious. What is your favorite? Have you tried cauliflower mashed potatoes? Have you tried, I've seen people do it with broccoli too. I've never tried that, but I have tried the cauliflower mash, and that's really good. Or, what is your favorite Instapot recipe? Have you ever cooked in the Instapot? Now watch out. The metal parts on the Instapot are hot, so don't touch those and burn yourself. Huh. I learned that the hard way. I've only cooked a couple things. I cooked them a stew in this Instapot, and it turned out beautifully. Oh, I can hear our cauliflower just starting to boil. But it turned out beautifully. I put like beans and some rice, raw beans, raw rice, some cabbage, some tomatoes in there for the boys, and then, did I have any meat in there? I don't think I had any meat in there. And then you don't want to put dairy in this because it will curdle any dairy you put in this. That's just what I've read. You want to stir that in after. But yeah, it turned out really nice, and it cooked like that. It was super fast. And then for us girls, I made the creamy tomato soup from, I think it was volume 4. Tammy, the pineapple upside down cake in Instapot was delicious. That is so fun, cooking it in the Instapot. Yay! And I bet it was nice and super moist because it steams it, which is going to give it like a nice, soft, beautiful baked through. Oh, I got to try some bakes in this. I haven't tried that yet, but that sounds really fun. I have the, what is this? It's an air fryer. I've cooked things in the air fryer, but that tends to get it a little bit dry because it's putting a lot of air in there, but I bet this would keep it nice and moist. And, word of warning, so I was using my air fryer, I was cooking, because it's just like an oven. So I was roasting some peaches with cinnamon. If you've never tried roasted peaches with cinnamon, you're missing out. It was so good. But I had it on this glass pie plate, which it was like you could put that in the oven, so I thought, oh, that'll be okay. So I had it in there cooking, so I cooked it, gave it a little stir, then cooked it a little longer. I opened it the last time, and it cracked in 3 places. I'm like, oh, not all dishes can go in an air fryer. You gotta make sure it can be pretty warm. So, word of warning, make sure it's like high heat oven safe dish. Hi Amy, what are you making today? We are making pressure cooker chicken and mashed cauliflower potatoes, mashed cauliflower potato kind of thing, and it's gonna be delish. So I'm gonna give this a little stir so it gets all of our cauliflower nice and coated, and so we don't have any frozen bits. We don't want frozen bits. Alright, I can hear it. It's starting to almost boil. It's getting nice and smoky in there. And then, after it's done cooking, you can either use a blender and work kind of in batches if you're using a lot, or if it's like only 2 packages, you could probably fit that in a nice big blender. Or I'm going to use my immersion blender. I got this off of Amazon. My first one, I broke it because I used it so much. Mocha, is this an Instapot you're using? So, my air fryer is an Instapot brand. This is a GoWise USA, but it is an Instapot or pressure cooker. So it's a pressure cooker, but Instapot is the name brand. I hope that makes sense. It was really confusing when I was looking it up. But this is a pressure cooker, or you could kind of say an Instapot where it pressure cooks it. Tammy, do you ever eat lentil pasta? Yes. I have had chickpea pasta, lentil pasta. I have found a couple brands at my local Aldi's, and they don't say flour in it. Now, I don't know if like you contact the manufacturer and ask them if, oh, we do use flour. It doesn't say flour, and it wasn't like triggering. It didn't make me want to eat everything in my whole house. And I really like that. It's been really yummy. But yes, those are really fun. Jennifer, somebody buy her a wooden spoon. I don't want you scratching your pan. Thank you, Jennifer. Annette did buy me a rubber spoon. This is not a nonstick. It's the, what do they call that? Cauliflower. So you can't scratch it. I've tried to scratch it. You can't. This is like, yeah, so it's not the, where it has that coating in it. So it's okay if I use a metal spoon. I should probably put a word of warning because this has happened a couple times. And Annette was so sweet. She sent me a rubber or a silicone spoon that's up to 400 degrees. Jennifer, good. Yes. Thank you for trying to save my pots and pans. Definitely. No. I do have a couple that have that coating on it, and I make sure I do have some rubber utensils, and I do use those for that. But, so, the immersion blender, I like this one because it has an adjustable speed. That's really nice, and it has different heads you can put on it. I'll show you what I got. It has a whisk attachment, and they're super easy just to put on. And then it has like a, oh, where is it? It has a little like milk frother. I tried to whisk eggs with that. That didn't work, but it would work perfect for like frothing milk. Woo! Okay, so our chicken is done, but you have to let it natural release. We're going to let it natural release for 10 minutes. So I'm going to set the timer for 10 minutes. And then after that, then we will quick release it and open it up, and then we'll check the temperature, make sure it's 165, or you could cut it open or poke it with a fork. It should be fork tender, or it should not be pink inside. We do not want food poisoning. That is not fun. Amy, Natalie, if you eat this, what kind of fruit or vegetable can you put on the side? Well, this is chicken and vegetables, so this would just be your protein and vegetables, so whatever vegetables you would want on the side with that. If you don't want this your full vegetable, this is not boiling yet, but it will get there. You can't watch it. It gets shy if you watch it when it's trying to boil. Tammy, I made the lentil pasta and layered it like lasagna with ricotta and ground sausage. Ooh, Tammy, that is fancy. I gotta try that. That's really good. Also the what is it called? Palmini. That's a really fun pasta to use also, and that counts as just your vegetable because it's just hearts of palm, which is a vegetable. That's really fun to use too. Annette, I got an immersion blender for Christmas, and it scares me. Oh, Annette. Eric uses it for me. It's not that bad. Just make sure if you have it plugged in and let's say you're cleaning it, don't put your finger in there. Unplug it and maybe even disattach this before you clean this so you don't blend your fingers. But it's not scary to use a net. I think this is sometimes scarier to use than this. This has the potential to explode. This does not. This could just blend your fingers. Mom, hi Annette, how are you feeling? So another thing with my other immersion blender that I did not like was, okay, so look at the tip of this. I like how shallow this is because if you're only blending like a little bit, like 3 ounces chickpeas, you don't want it super deep. Some of the ones when I was looking on Amazon, because I broke my other one, right here, this part broke off, or it got loose, so I'm like, oh no, I use this all the time, I gotta get a new one. So, I wanted to make sure it was flat here, and my other one had holes in these raised parts. I did not like that because little pieces of onion would get stuck in there when I was making my soup, or the blending, like big hunks of chickpeas would get stuck in there. I did not like that. So I tried to make sure that it has no holes and it's more of the flatter one, not the raised edge. But I really like this one. My other immersion blender came with a food processor, which is really nice to have also. All right, we're going to give our cauliflower a little stir. It's boiling! Yay! We want a nice roaring boil. I'm going to give it a little stir. You don't want like a simmer boil. You want a nice roaring one. And what I mean is just big bubbles. So we'll cover it again because that helps keep all the heat in there. Yeah, it is so fun cooking with different gadgets and things because they all do different things. Another thing, yeah, this came with a food processor. I really like that because I have like a big food processor, but you gotta take that out and you gotta clean it. So it's kind of nice to have just the small attachment with this also. Wow, an Instapot recipe. Yes, we're making Instapot chicken. It came with a little cookbook, which is nice because I'm like, how do I work this thing? Like, what timing for things? So they had a shredded chicken recipe, and I made that. I probably would have used more spices because since it like steamed it, it wasn't as flavorful as I thought it was going to be. It was like a chili lime chicken. So I would have probably increased the spices with that, but it was still really yummy, and it cooked really fast. Amy, who is speaking today at the Bible study at 6:30. It will be my brother, John. He will be sharing tonight. And if you need a little uplifting, some encouraging, this whole month through April, we are doing a series called Who Are You? Which, oh man, that is life-changing because when you know who you are, that changes your whole life. You're not searching anymore. So it'll be John sharing tonight, 6:30 p.m. on the Love of God Family Church Facebook page. Join. It's a really fun time. We start with music. It's our family sitting there, and it was a really fun time. It's Thursdays and Fridays, so last night it was us 3 kids there, us siblings, and it was just a fun time sharing with everybody, and it's really cool because we all kind of interact, and it's interactive like this where you can comment and we see those things. All right, we got a nice boil going on. Gonna give it a little stir again. I'm going to leave it on high for a little bit longer. And then the chicken has 4 more minutes to natural release. So then we'll let our cauliflower cook for about 7 minutes longer than that. And then we'll quick release and we'll open our pressure cooker and we'll see what's inside. So it has tons of safety features, which is really nice. On TikTok, a lady, I follow her, and she has all this Instapot things why you don't have to be afraid of a pressure cooker or Instapot. When I say Instapot, I mean pressure cooker. Oh, never mind. I thought that was a comment on Instagram. It was not. I have no clue what that was. But it has all these safety features, so you can't, like, open it while it's pressurized. You have to wait till this little doodad in the back falls down, and it keeps one of these locked things, so you can't even open the pot, which is nice, so no exploding. And it has all these safety features. You do want to make sure when you quick release it that you don't put your hand over this thing because this is going to shoot out hot steam, and you kind of want to make sure it's not like right underneath your cupboard, so I pull it out just a little bit. We got a nice boil going on. I'm going to reduce the heat to about medium high. So it goes up to 10, and I have it at a 7 right now. My little dial's on my oven. So we're going to let that go. And then we'll add I have some minced garlic, or you could take garlic cloves and mince them yourself, but who wants to do that? We're just going to add a little bit of this to our mashed potatoes, and then we'll blend it up. I don't think I'm going to take any of the liquid out, but I am going to uncover this because this will help take some of the liquid, have that evaporate away. Because we don't want it too juicy. Whoops, get back in there, cauliflower. But we don't want it too dry. While that's cooking, I forgot to grab my little temperature thing. Ooh, squeeze out of here. 1 second. Here. I got this one because I got a little electric grill outside, which I really liked. But when you're making steaks and stuff, you got to know the temperature, or you're making chicken, you want to make sure it's hot inside because it could look hot outside, but it's not. So I found this at a thrift store. I've really liked it. Otherwise, I got one of the, it has like a fold-out temperature gauge, and that one's really nice. It's a heat thermometer. This one, you can pick what meat you have. So it does lamb, pork, chicken, turkey. So I'm going to set it to chicken, and then you poke this into the fattest part of your chicken, and then you let it sit there until it tells you the temperature, and then it'll beep when it's the right temperature. So chicken should be like 165, then you know the internal temperature is safe to eat, and you won't get food poisoning, because that's not fun. We have a minute left on our chicken. Give our cauliflower a little stir here. I'm glad that I only did 5 cups of liquid, because otherwise this might be too liquidy when we blend this up. Because I don't want it too liquidy, but I do want some of the vegetable broth in there. So I might take a little bit of the liquid out so it doesn't turn into like a liquid mush. Tammy, I've lost 65 pounds now. Woohoo, Tammy! That's like a small human being. That is amazing. I buy these big bags of cat food, and those, I think they're like 40 pounds. You lost more than a giant bag of cat food. Tammy, that is fabulous. Just think, 1 stick of butter, or 4 sticks of butter is 1 pound, and that's like legit just fat. You've lost a bunch of those. That is fabulous. Congratulations, Tammy. That is great. And if you didn't know already, which you probably have seen, Annette, genius using frozen cauliflower. Yeah, then it doesn't get like moldy in your fridge. You don't forget about it. I really like buying frozen food. I like it better than the canned. I don't think you can even get canned cauliflower. But if you haven't seen, I have... All right, we're going to set this for 7 minutes for our cauliflower. And now we're going to quick release this. So make sure your hand's not over the venting. And we're going to just open this up. Ready? It's kind of fun. And then you can see back here, there's this little tiny metal piece, and that'll fall down, and then you know it's safe to open. So we're just going to keep letting it, let it all out. Another thing to help it natural release quicker is you can turn off the keep warm, but I kind of wanted that on because I want my chicken a little bit cooked. I like my chicken really done. I don't like it rubbery. I like it really done. Maggie, woohoo, Tammy! Yes, congratulations, Tammy. That is a fabulous accomplishment. Oh, the little doodad fell down. And our cauliflower is really boiling now, which is great. We're going to leave it on that high boil. Okay. I'm always a little chicken when I open this. Get it, chicken, because I'm cooking. Okay, here we go. And steam comes out. So when you take off the cover, take it off away. Don't like peek, because you can burn your arm. I've almost done that. Okay, here we go. And it takes a lot of liquid off. So we're going to do it this way over. Oh, they look perfect. Beautiful. All right, I need a plate. I didn't grab a plate. I have one right here. I have a bowl. I do have plates. We're going to use a bowl. Okay, I got a bowl. This is my little thingy, and then I have all my stuff in here. Amy, you'll have to ask her that. Amy, I'm going to grab a fork. We're going to take our chicken out, and then we'll test the internal temperature. Let's grab the biggest one. Ooh, it's tender, and it's juicy. Look at that. And it's seasoned perfectly. All right, let's test this. Poke it in the fattest part. You don't want it all the way through, just about halfway in. Now it has been sitting there. 167, 181. Perfectly cooked. Shh. All right, let's cut this open a little bit because I'm so excited to show you. Instapot chicken. That was so fast. I used to like bake this in the oven for like 2 hours because I wanted it really done. Or grilling it. Grilling it's really tasty too. Let's see. Okay, we're going to cut this baby open. It's not pink inside. Now, is that little part pink? I don't think so. It shouldn't be. All right, let's cut it again. It should be cooked perfectly. I think that's just a piece of fat. Here it is, our beautiful Instapot chicken. It's tender. It's beautiful. We cooked it for like 10 minutes. It falls apart. And it's seasoned on the outside and it has a nice sear. Oh, yay! It wasn't a failure on live. All right, let's grab another piece. I think the smaller ones will be cooked even better. Look at that. All that seasoning. And there's no skin on this, so you can eat this whole piece of chicken. 4 ounces. That's what you get for full protein. It's beautiful. Oh, it just falls apart. Oh, look at that chicken. Beautiful. Oh, it smells so good. Yay! It worked. So I'm going to turn off the keep warm because I don't want it to just keep cooking in there. And we're going to push this back. And the liquid on the bottom, I heard that that's like kind of chicken broth. So if you want like a chicken broth, you got some on the bottom there of the juices from your chicken. Especially if you're cooking like a whole chicken, then you got chicken broth too. You can make chicken broth in here, which is really nice. Oh, and our cauliflower, you can tell it's getting tender because when you stir it, it all falls apart. Beautiful. And I think what I'm going to do, since it's got about 2 minutes left, I'm going to take this and I'm going to just skim off some of the liquid because we don't want it too liquidy. And we'll just put that in the sink. Maybe take about a cup out. Ooh, it's even boiling more now. One more, and I think we should be good. And I'm not taking out very much in my little cup because I can't get very much in there. Beautiful. Oh, Annette, your family is so blessed having you cook for them. Oh, you're so nice. I have done a couple things where I actually made things too spicy or I messed up and then I cooked for everyone. So everybody kind of gets stuck with it. I'm like, oh man. So it has pros and cons. We all kind of work together. And really, I only cook dinner kind of for everyone. All the other meals were on our own. Sometimes we'll like make each other. Kelly, a couple days ago, she made us all breakfast, or she asked. Some of us didn't want it. And then a while ago, I was making muffins. So I'm like, oh, hey, anybody else want muffins too? Because it doesn't take cooking healthy is not that hard. It's actually, I think it's quicker than cooking box things. Like when you buy a box of like food to make, that can sometimes take a while. You got all this stuff to do. And it doesn't taste as good as when you make it yourself. It tastes better when you make it yourself. Another thing with the pressure cooker is make sure that's not hot. Don't burn yourself. This thing comes off, so you want to like kind of wash this, but you don't. I don't think you submerge this because you don't want everything in there. But this, you want to make sure. I guess your food can start to taste a little wonky because the sealing ring can capture all the flavors. Some people buy an extra sealing ring and then they do one sealing ring for sweet and one sealing ring for savory foods. I haven't used it that much, so I haven't noticed, but I wash this thing and then you wash this inner pot and then I wipe this out and kind of wash it a little bit. So that's just some cleaning tips. All right. Our cauliflower is cooked. It's tender. It falls apart when you poke it. Time to get to blending. I'll bring it over so you can see it better. We'll blend it over here. Sometimes when I don't have a pot holder by me, I just use one of these. Tammy, have you always lived together? Yes. For one short period, it was 1 or 2 years. For insurance reasons, which was really weird, Kelly did move out and have her own apartment, but she hated it. She was over at our house all the time anyways. We've been homeschooled our whole life, and we're all in ministry together. We all do all the church stuff, and all our stuff we kind of do together. My brother has a lawn care and snow business, and I help him with some things there. So we've always worked very close with each other, which has been a blessing. It's not been easy. I mean, you could live with anybody, and you're going to have things, but we always work them out. Sometimes we have to have family meetings, but it always works out. All right, we're going to add some garlic. But yes, we've always lived together. It's been really fun. None of us are married yet, so there's really no reason to move out and just waste money on an apartment that you just sleep there and come back home. Jennifer, I've homeschooled for 13 years. Jennifer, that is fabulous. My dad worked at a Christian school locally. All right, I'm going to use about that much garlic for 6 bags. I would say that's about 5 or 6 cloves of garlic. Put that in. My dad worked at a Christian school for many years. He was a teacher there. He's a really smart guy. And we had our choice if we wanted to go to school there or be homeschooled. I think each of us tried it for like a week and we didn't like it. We're like, we can get our schoolwork done in like 3 hours. And then we have all this time for our hobbies and doing different things and like learning other life skills. So we're like, no, I'd rather be homeschooled. So it was our choice to do that. We weren't forced. That is fabulous. I love being homeschooled. I missed out on a lot of things. My mom did work at a school-age childcare program, and we went to that at the public school. So we did get our taste of public school a little bit, and that was with our mom there. Yeah, I'm glad we were homeschooled. My mom went to a public school, and she told us all of her things, and I'm like, I'm glad I was homeschooled. Nicole, hey Natalie, I see you have the big Instapot. Do you also have the smaller one? The big one was too heavy for me. I don't have a smaller one. I do have a crock pot, but I thought, if I'm going to get an Instapot, I'm going to get it big. So I got the biggest one, and you can cook smaller things in there. I also heard other people who got an Instapot, and they always wish they got a bigger one. But yeah, it is pretty heavy. It does fit in my little cabinet thing here, so that's really nice. But it is pretty heavy. It's about like 10, 15 pounds, I would say. Tammy, I went to a Christian school when I was young, and my mom was my teacher. Ah, how fun! My mom was my teacher, too. And I think she had something for the principal. I think they were in it together. It was my dad, just FYI. All right, we're going to blend up our cauliflower here to make it mashed. And I left all the juice in there, and it's not too juicy. Can you see this? I think you can. So if I tilt it, there's just a little bit of liquid, which is good. You want a little bit because you want it like nice juicy mashed potatoes. And then you don't have to add like milk or other liquidy things to make it nice and mashed. All right, let's blend it up. Again, you can do this in a blender also. Blend it all up. I have this on the highest speed. It does have a turbo, and I'm not using the turbo. We're just getting this nice and blended. Get all the big chunks. You could add more spices and seasonings. You could do some parsley, some basil, paprika if you want to. That would be yummy. Onion powder, garlic salt would be delicious in this too. But I'm going to let everybody add their own spices to their own bowl or plate. Just make sure there's no big hunks. The more you blend, the smoother it gets. Kind of move it around. Another nice thing that since this isn't like the coated non-stick pan is I can use my metal immersion blender and not be worried that I'm going to scrape it because it's I think it's called Cauliflower. They make different kinds, but I really like these pots. We've had these for years and they've worked perfectly for us. You could add a little salt and pepper to this. Some Italian seasoning, and I'm going to add ricotta cheese to mine. Yum! For a dairy-free version, you could do mashed avocado in it too. Tammy, what type of religion is your church? That's a great question. We are non-denominational, so that just means we just preach and teach just the Bible. So whatever the Bible says, we believe that. The whole thing. Genesis to Revelations, even the maps. So it's not like our own ideas and those types of things. We just preach the Bible. All right. Make sure you get all your cauliflower bits. Don't put your fingers in here when it's plugged in. That's why I'm using the spoon, because if it does accidentally, I push something, it's not going to blend my fingers off. That doesn't taste good in here. All right, so we have our beautiful, oh, there is one chunk. I'm going to get that chunk. Making sure. All right, I think we got it all now. Look at that. It's like mashed potato heaven. It looks just like mashed potatoes. I think it's actually smoother than mashed potatoes. And look at that. You could even, instead of like having like chicken, you could add cheese to this, cheese and butter, or you could add different proteins. You could add some milk or cream cheese as your fat. All right, let's get another bowl, and I will show you this beautifulness. We're gonna grab this bowl. It's flatter. Tammy, that is great. Oh, thank you. All right. Oh, yeah, look at that creamy, and it's the perfect amount of liquid. I would say it's about 4 cups of vegetable broth per bag of cauliflower, 12-ounce bag of cauliflower. You just gotta let it plop on there. There's just something about that. Oh, this looks amazing. Now, word of warning, this is a cruciferous vegetable, so it's kind of like broccoli. So, it will give you a body cleanse, and it can give you a little bit of, if you eat too much of it too often. My sister and mom, they have a 2-day rule, that they're like, okay, we cannot have just like all cauliflower or all broccoli for more than 2 days, because it will give you some flatulence. Just saying. We all deal with that. Amy, have you ever had regular cottage cheese before in your recipes? Yes, I've used cottage cheese. There's a couple lasagna recipes that use cottage cheese. I have cottage cheese patties. I think that's in volume 6. Those are really yummy too. Or instead of ricotta cheese and cottage cheese and ricotta cheese are kind of the same, just cottage cheese has the hunks, where ricotta cheese is smooth. All right, here is our mashed potatoes. Aren't they delicious, mashed potatoes? Who needs potatoes in the carbs when cauliflower can be made into this? A little salt and pepper, little ricotta cheese or butter, and you got delicious. And it's perfect because dinner isn't till about like after Bible study. So on Thursdays and Fridays, it's later. So this will sit in the fridge and it'll get a little bit thicker as it sits. You'll probably have to give it a little stir in the container because the liquid will separate. Tammy, I'm hungry now. I'm sorry, don't look at this. I know. Don't look at food videos right before you go to bed. You'll be hungry in the morning and ready for breakfast. I've done that. It's not a good idea. Or when you have like that fake hunger. Jennifer, looks delicious. Thank you. I'm excited to try it. I don't think I've tried it with the vegetable broth, but I think that'll give it a nice flavor. All right, we have our beautiful, quick, that was like 15-minute chicken, and then probably like 15-minute cauliflower. Done. Dinner, done. Add some ricotta cheese, or even more vegetables on the side. You would just weigh this all as your vegetables. That's it. So easy. And then you have beautiful chicken, which is your protein, and you have this together. Oh, I'm excited for dinner. Put this on the fridge, heat it up later. Perfection. You could even, if you want your chicken a little bit crispy, add them to the air fryer, line it, or put a air fryer safe pan. Don't put a glass dish in there. Found out the hard way. I have used baking dishes in there, and that's fine, but that pie dish, I guess, was not oven safe. Oops. But you could add this to the air fryer, and it'll crisp up the edges and heat it up perfectly. Annette, looks delicious, and I love Deb's suggestion of ricotta cheese. Yes, Deb, I love you. Thank you for suggesting that. Amanda, I love watching videos that go along with my eating plan. Me too. too. Isn't this just fun? And I love cooking with you guys. And I love how you're so excited when I'm excited and we're excited together. That just makes it so much better. I love it. Instagram. I can't seem to get around the taste of cauliflower, but I can't see the rest of the comment. I can't eat broccoli due to the gas issue. Which would you substitute for cauliflower? That's a great question. You could do eggplant. I think that would blend up nicely. Cabbage, but that also can get a little gassy. And I don't know, that might blend up if you cook it long enough and then really blend it. Oh, what would be another? I'm just trying to think through. Maybe parsnips? If you cook those quite a while, maybe boil them and then take the liquid out and boil those, because those are kind of like a carrot. You could even do carrots. That might actually blend up quite nicely if you boil them for a long time. You could even do frozen carrots, boil them the same until they're nice and fork tender, and then blend those up. Then you could have like a carrot mash. That actually sounds really good. I really like carrots. They're really delish. Butternut squash. Yes, Joyce. Genius. Butternut squash. Squash is a great substitute. Yes, parsnips, Deb said. Rebecca is super excited about this. I recently got a Ninja 9-in-1 that I can use as an Instapot pressure cooker and have been afraid to try. Not anymore. Yay! Making this chicken, thank you. Yeah, it's actually not scary to use. I thought it was going to be scary to use. My sister thought it was going to be scary to use. She showed me like the video of the old style pressure cooker and they explode. And I'm like, oh. So I was kind of leery. Then I got on the air fryer kick. Oh, yes. Now, Instapot, it's really fun to use. But yeah, all those suggestions. Maggie, or my mom, squash is a nice soft blended veggie. Yes, it is. You can also find that in the frozen food section. I'd suggest carrots. I have like the Instagram comments, I can't see them, so I had to like put my hand there. Yes, carrots, that would be a great one. Or squash. Yeah, all those different ones. There's so many different vegetables you can blend. You can make like a creamy tomato soup that's blended. And I do know when you blend this, it helps you digest it a little bit easier if you do have problems with digestion and like colon issues. It does help to blend it. And with vegetables, it's okay to blend. Fruits, that's a little bit different because the sugar goes quicker into our bloodstream and that can cause triggering. Some it doesn't, some it does. So to each their own with that. Cindy, mashed zucchini. That's a good idea too. Yeah, try all the vegetables. See if they mash. I have also found frozen zucchinis. That's really nice to have too. Yeah, it's the new game. Instead of will it waffle, try different things in the waffle maker. Will it mashed potato? That's a fun game. I like those things. So yes, I hope we could give you some suggestions that help with gas and all those things, because when you eat a lot of vegetables, we all understand. We all get it. But yeah, don't be afraid to use the pressure cooker. It is really fun to use. Air fryer is also fun too. Here's a really cool thing that like totally changed my whole way of thinking. Air fryer is the exact same thing as a convection oven, which this is the convection oven. I like that about it because then you can do multiple pans. But the heat is concentrated. So it blows around the heat. So it's concentrated, so it cooks a little bit faster and crispier than a convection oven would. So I have found that out, but it helps me think of like cooking times and all that thing. It's the same as an oven. So that really helps. Pressure cooker, it just cooks things really fast. It's amazing. So yeah, new recipes of those coming up. Thank you so much for joining me today. So Jess, what should we make next week? Tammy, I got the cookbook in the mail. Yay, Tammy! Tammy, first 65 pounds down. Now you get the cookbook in the mail. Hooray! That is fabulous. So excited. That is a gift to yourself that will keep on giving. Yeah, I keep my cookbooks right here because I literally cook out of them. So you can find all of my cookbooks and more and be celebrating with Tammy. This is the brand new Cooking with Joy 2. Cooking with Joy 1 has the garlic cauliflower mashed potatoes in it. That's a really fun one also. Or find tons of recipes. I went through this one and I made the cinnamon swirl bake. If you haven't seen that video, it's on my Instagram Reels. I shared it on Facebook. It's on my new TikTok account, which is really fun to use. They only give you 60 seconds, so I cut it down so it's really fast. But yeah, follow me on those. I've been sharing like recipes and fun things, and more recipes coming too. And then I have a video coming soon that's showing all my favorite baking gadgets that I have, and then all my favorite baking tools and just some life hacks on there. So follow me on those. It's all the same weight loss recipes cookbook except for TikTok. It didn't let me get book in there because you only have so many characters. So it's Weight Loss Recipes Cook. You can find all of my cookbooks and more at weightlossrecipescookbook.com. I have really fun stuff on there. You can find these videos, past episodes, and you can also find the short cooking little TikTok, I just call them TikTok videos, just the short reels or TikTok videos on my YouTube channel also. That's new that they have that where you can put little short videos on there too. So you can catch up on those. And on my Facebook account, you don't need a TikTok account to watch the TikTok videos, which is really nice. Just click on that link and it opens it right up and you can cook right from there. All right, I never want to say goodbye. So suggest what should we make next week? Because I'm here every Friday. We get to cook together. Maybe we'll have to try another Instapot recipe. Maybe a bake in it. I know you suggested that you made an upside down pineapple bake in it. Maybe we'll have to make one of those. I'll break out Cooking with Joy too, and we'll make something from there in the Instapot. That would be really fun. Oh, I love cooking with you guys, and I love you so much. And remember, join us tonight, 6:30 p.m., right in my kitchen, right over there on the Love of God Family Church Facebook page. It is a really just uplifting, fun time. It's like family all together. It's super fun. 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. And then I'll be back next Friday. Sherry, something with palmini too. Ooh, we'll have to make something palmini. Nicole, thanks Natalie. Thanks for joining, Nicole. Did I mention I just love you guys so much? You're so encouraging and loving, and our recipe page, I just love that place. I just love seeing everybody encouraging other people's, answering questions, asking questions, it's just so fun. It's like a family, or it's like a girls group, and there are some guys on there too, which is so fun also. All right, I could keep going. Annette, thanks Natalie. Thank you, Annette. Praying for you, honey. Get better soon, and stay in bed. Have your husband bring you breakfast in bed. Yeah, that'll be really fun. Have him make you something really good. The cinnamon swirl bake. I saw you make that. That was really good. All right, guys. I will see you next week, right here Friday. And remember, you're only one thought away from a good day. Bye.